The stage is set for the Global Rallycross Championship on ESPN. Well, let's take a look at the Royal Purple starting grid for this heat, Jen.
Sverre Isaksson on the inside, Thomas Heikkinen in the middle, and Scott Speed on the outside there. Too bad we're not seeing Sandell, but boy, those guys were thrashing to get a motor, and maybe we'll see him for the LCQ.
Really interesting, as Alyssa was saying, that the inside line is where Thomas Heikkinen is sitting, and we saw in the earlier heats that there was a lot of pinching going on for that middle car. So if you don't get out there really quick, that might not be a smart place to be.
Very tough place to be in the middle. It's hard to pick any position on this track. You go inside, you got to defend your line, the guys might squeeze you. You go in the middle, you get pinched.
Here we go, and they go green. We are racing. We're off. Who gets the jump? Well, looks like Heikkinen is going to make it first to that corner, but Sverre Isaksson gives him a little nudge.
That was an aggressive move from Sverre, getting his nose underneath Heikkinen, but it actually just pushed him a little further out front, I think.
Well, what we didn't want to see is Tommy Heikkinen getting such a massive lead. They both took the shortcut, the Joker. You have to do that once in every race, and they've both taken that, but Scott Speed didn't. So here we go, Tommy Heikkinen in the lead, Sverre Isaksson chasing his down, and then Scott Speed.
It's tough on this track when somebody gets a big lead to claw anything back. It's reasonably narrow, and the ruts in the dirt make it very difficult to pass.
And so far, Heikkinen just starting to pull away from Sverre Isaksson, and Isaksson looks like he's in a little bit of trouble. Looked like he was pulling off the course there.
Yeah, Isaksson's not up to full speed. Definitely we're on board here with Tommy Heikkinen as he heads toward the jump.
Wow.
That jump's interesting. They've got to brake a little bit going into it. It's got a big kick on it, and they're sort of being shot straight up into the air. So they've got to be careful or they can do some front-end damage.
And in this first heat, that is nicely groomed dirt. There are no gigantic ruts in there, but we saw through some of the heat races that it really did get deep. And now Scott Speed is ahead of Sverre Isaksson. Not sure why Isaksson pulled off to the side there.
You know, Isaksson's been having a little bit of car trouble today as we're on board with him, and we see all that water on his windshield. Maybe he's having some visibility problems. But
look at that. Scott Speed then took the Joker. That allowed him to get a big jump on Isaksson. So Speed comfortably in second place. 2 will transfer immediately through to the finals from this round. So that puts the ex-Formula 1 racer Speed in a fantastic position behind Tommy Heikkinen.
And we've seen Speed struggle a little bit on these courses where the track is very inconsistent, and this is one of them. So that was a bit of luck there for Speed.
Here again on board with Heikkinen. Look at this quick left and right over this jump, which has proved a bunch of trouble for some racers, because we saw some guys, when this jump gets worn out, they really fly skyward and into the front end.
They do. Their strategy and technique in every corner here. There we have Tommy Heikkinen. You can see on board how busy his hands are as he steers, feeds in the steer and the counter steer through the corners, going up through the gears, gearing down as he gets into this corner around the hairpin, and now he'll get up some good speed as he comes to the gears. That's 4th. You can see the number in the middle of the dashboard coming into the chicane.
Just flicks through that chicane. It's amazing how much control they have over these cars when they're on such uneven terrain. All over this course, there are these gigantic rocks from the road base that's laid down there. That's because it drains so well. But Tommy Heikkinen having no problem here in Atlanta.
And Scott Speed, the RDO car that we're seeing in the center of the screen right now, he is doing pretty well, I think, with these conditions. Not his forte, and I think he's putting in a good lap.
Sverre Isaksson is charging hard, trying to catch up to Speed, who had to jam on the brakes there.
As we see the white flag, that means they're heading into their final lap.
So there's Sverre Isaksson going hard in that Subaru, trying to catch up to the RDO Ford of Scott Speed. I don't think he's going to have enough in this last lap to catch him. We really need to find out what happened to Sverre Isaksson in that first lap that caused him to pull off to the side.
I'm not sure, but during the first heat, he had some damage to the front of his car in the intercooler. He may just not have had a lot of trust in the car.
Here we go. Tommy Heikkinen comes through, takes that extra point for the heat win, and he will be through safely into the finals, as will Scott Speed. And Isaksson so close behind. That was a disastrous heat for him, but a great heat for Thomas Tommy Heikkinen, who reigns supreme. He already has 4 wins in Global Rallycross.